This is the new field display for LNG. The new display builds on its predecessor, the FD188, to provide a tank-side display for LNG tanks. Like the previous model, the new one can be installed in potentially explosive atmospheres, as it carries both ATEX and IEC-EX certificates. The display is operated via magnetic hall switches. The new field display has an improved LED screen for greater clarity in a range of conditions and a better tolerance of extreme temperatures. The new device, as well as supporting level measurement devices from Honeywell, Emerson and Endresen-Hauser, supports both the Scientific Instruments 7000 and WESO 1146 LTD gauges. In addition, the device can be powered from a range of supplies from 24 volts to 250 volts on both AC and DC currents. When the device starts up, the MHT logo shows briefly while the software is loaded. Normally, the field display operates in listen mode, passively obtaining its data from the field instruments. To start with, all tank gauge parameters are in error, and although you can navigate through the pages of data, all fields will be shown as such. The field display monitors the buses on which the measurement instruments are connected. Levels, temperatures and density are read from the two available interfaces by listening to the traffic on those buses. Gradually, the screen is populated by this data, including status information from the level gauges. The field display will now be connected to the field buses. In this case, an MHT mini receiver is acting as the bus master. In a few seconds, the first parameters appear on the screen. The field display's home screen is what most users will look at and covers most of the basic information important to LNG operators. The three flood panels show the levels as measured by the primary, LTD and secondary gauges. The top left corner shows the position and status of the LTD gauge. On the opposite side, the LTD's level, current temperature and density are shown. On the lower corners, the level and temperature as measured by the primary and secondary gauge can be seen. In this case, the primary gauge is a servo type of device. It is currently following level and its status is shown as balanced. The secondary gauge is a tank-side monitor. Its status is tank-side to indicate this. The new field display is configured through a web interface. A connection to the device is established using a Cat5 Ethernet patch lead between a computer and the field display. The field display does not have to be permanently connected to an Ethernet network. It is only necessary when configuring or troubleshooting the system. To access the configuration, open a browser and navigate to the field display's IP address. By default, the address is 192.168.1.220 with a mask of 255.255.255.0. This can be changed to use DHCP or any suitable IP address. By default, the username and password is admin in lowercase and MHT in capitals. If the device is to be permanently connected to a network, you are recommended to change the password. However, if an air gap is to be maintained, leaving the password at the default will make the maintenance easier and no less secure. Note that the device offers no built-in access to wireless networks. Changes to configuration can be made in real time. The device does not require powering down or resetting to complete the process. For example, I'll change the name of the tank on the display. I select the Configure menu and the LNG Gauges submenu, enter the desired name in the tank name field, LNG01, and then click Update. I confirm the change and then the display updates. As well as configuration, the web interface can be used to troubleshoot. The engineer screen gives access to message counters and can turn on the device's ability to dump raw communications from field buses onto RS-232 port for analysis. In addition, much of the functionality and data displays on the LCD screen are replicated through this interface.